Formula One world has been rocked by the announcement that Michael Schumacher, the world champion from 1994, will be leaving Benetton to join Ferrari next season. He's said to be trying to turn Ferrari into the world championship winning team that it deserves to be. Replacing him at Benetton is John Alesi from Ferrari in a straight swap for the German driver. The French driver takes over at Benetton, looking to continue its great form over the last few seasons. Benetton is the new Ferrari next season, as Gerhard Berger also joins his teammate John Alesi at Benetton, and he will be looking to continue his excellent 1995 season in 1996. That leaves Johnny Herbert with a new drive to find, and he's found one. He will be joining Heinz-Harald Frentzen at Sauber next season as he looks to continue the midfield team's push up the constructors' standings. Speaking of the midfield, Jordan driver Eddie Irvine will be joining Michael Schumacher at Ferrari next season after his impressive season at Jordan. Jordan will be looking for new drivers for next year. But that driver will not be David Coulthard, who's had a very impressive run of form recently and is an outside bet to become the world champion of 1995. He's currently leading the standings, but will he be able to hold off his teammate Damon Hill and, of course, the world champion Michael Schumacher? He will be joining McLaren next season to join Mika Hakkinen and try and turn around the fortunes of the Woking-based team. And replacing him at Williams is the 1995 IndyCar world champion, Jacques Villeneuve. He is a youngster. It's a long-awaited debut in Formula One for Jacques Villeneuve, and there's going to be huge pressure on his shoulders to continue the push of Damon Hill and David Coulthard this season. He'll be joining Damon Hill next season in the team. So as it stands, that leaves Joe Hannard without a drive for next season. He's been impressing for Sauber this year, but plenty of mistakes in there as well mean a year on the sidelines may not be the worst thing for him. Rumours have it that Ligier are going to give him a test driver role for 1996 with the promise of a driver role in 1997. Well, we are here for the Nürburgring, the European Grand Prix, after hearing the breaking news that we will not be driving for Sauber next season. However, we have been given that lifeline by Ligier for next season to be their test driver, and hopefully we will be in the car for 1997. But yeah, hugely disappointing considering the season that we've had. Obviously, we've been very, very competitive. We've scored by far more points than Heinz-Harald Frentzen, but you know, it is about the sponsorship at this point. We have made a lot of mistakes as well, so I do understand that, but yeah, disappointing to not be on the grid for 1996, but we will be doing everything that we can to get back in the car for 1997. But we've still got 4 races this season to prove ourselves. We've got the last European race of the season here in Europe for the Nürburgring, for the European Grand Prix. Interestingly, Heinz-Harald Frentzen did qualify in P8 for this Grand Prix as well, so Sauber certainly had a surge of performance towards the end of the 1995 season. Let's see what we can do. We've got to keep proving ourselves. Let's see if we can manage to get into the points in the 1995 European Grand Prix.
It's the Grand Prix of Europe at the Nürburgring, round 14 of the championship.
So here we go then, around the wonderful Nürburgring circuit. Now, not a track that we've driven for a number of years now, so it'll be interesting to see how we get on here. So let's take it on a lap of the Nürburgring. Looks quite dusky out there, so it must be late on in the day. Of course, hurtling towards turn 1, you've got this sort of downhillish turn 1, not really a lot of elevation change on this game, and then it's going to be left here. But, you know, we're going to very much try and find our feet around here. Get into that top 10. There's clearly pace in this Sauber car, so we will try and find it. Now already 2.5 seconds down on David Coulthard's time through that first sector onto the gravel. That is not going to help. So we'll see where this puts us. It's not going to be a competitive lap time, but you know, might not be plumb last actually from our experience this season. some of the cars are particularly slow, but yeah, we head through this middle sector, about to hit the middle sector split. And how many seconds are we off? It looks like about yeah, 8 seconds, so this is not good. And here we come then round the final corner. Not long to go now. Didn't do that very well either. We head up to the line. This is a very slow lap. Is it going to be plumb last? Yes, it is. Well, this is by far our best lap yet. Going to come up to the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be in the 33s, a 33.6. Puts us P11 for now. Let's see if we can go one better and into that top 10. Well, here we come. This has got to be our best lap yet. We come up to the line. It's in the 32s, a 32.7. Puts us P5. That is a great starting position for us. We will end qualifying there, and that is a huge, huge result. And of course, this is a huge race with David Coulthard taking the championship lead last time by 10 points over Schumacher. He takes pole position here at the Nürburgring. Damon Hill is second. Schumacher in third, with Gerhard Berger continuing his good form in fourth. Eddie Irvine qualifies in sixth, just behind us in fifth. That's a big battle between us two. 2 points separating Sauber and Jordan in the championship. Alesi qualifies in seventh ahead of Johnny Herbert in eighth. Heinz-Harald Frentzen qualifies in the top 10 ahead of Mika Hakkinen, who rounds out in 10th. Blundell starts in 11th for McLaren, with Barrichello in 12th. Brundle qualifies in 13th place ahead of Olivia Panis in 14th. Salo and Lamy take up the 8th row of the grid, with Pappas and Bedoya behind them. Tacchini will start in 19th place ahead of Andrea Monteramini in 20th. Ian Nui starts in 11th ahead of Pedro Diniz in 12th. Roberto Moreno in 23rd, and Delatraz starts in 24th place. Diniz is 22nd, not in 12th. So let's get ourselves into it then. We start P5. A big chance to have a big say here on championship proceedings if we have a good start. And that wasn't the best of starts there, as lights out and away we go for the European Grand Prix here at the Nürburgring. We hurtle towards turn one, and well, get on the grass a little bit, and well, we've made contact with the Ferrari. I think that was Jean Alesi, and we are down to 11th. We just can't seem to stay out of trouble in this game, and once again Alesi shoving his nose in where it's not wanted, and well, we are already under big pressure here. P11 at this European Grand Prix. Can we get back into the points? We started in P5, remember, so this would be an absolute disaster class of a drive if we finished outside of the points. But yeah, big contact with Alesi twice. Are we going to be able to make this back? Well, there goes Alesi round the outside again. And he is through, and that's our teammate Frentzen. So a real disaster for the Saubers, because of course Frentzen qualified P9. Well, this isn't good. Oh, good move there, and a needed move on John Alesi. Needed to get through there. And we need to settle down into this race, because very quickly the leaders are going to get away from us here. Oh, closing in on Olivier Panis now. Thought about going down the inside, thought better of it. Yeah, still chasing him for that final point, but this is crucial because Eddie Irvine is up in 8th. I think Gerhard Berger is leading the race. Maybe. Not sure. No. Damon Hill leading the way. Had a Coulthard and then Schumacher, so it's all changing at the top. Well, this is a chance now on Panis. We're going to go down the inside and we are through. Up into P10. That's a huge move for us. And really needed that. As I say, into the points. Need to try and get further up into the points if we can. Not sure who it is in P9 at the moment, but probably, Barrichello perhaps. Or maybe one of the McLarens, I'm not sure, can't quite tell. But Irvine up in 4th at the minute, that's a big bulk of points for Jordan. Schumacher up to 2nd, Coulthard down to 3rd at the minute. What a crazy championship it is turning into. On the lap of this race, it is imperative that we stay in 10th position. We're not going to catch Rubens Barrichello by the end of this Grand Prix. I think the Jordan's just too fast for us today. But we've got to try and keep Jean Alesi behind us. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, trust me. But we've got to try and pull it off. You can see Rubens in the background there, so maybe he's not out of the question if we can absolutely nail the rest of this lap. And this is looking pretty good. It's certainly our best lap of this Grand Prix. And we're holding it flat through these corners. This is us pushing at the absolute limit. Can we get an extra point and take a point off Jordan? It's going to be very tight. If it wasn't for that incident with Alesi earlier in the race, perhaps we could have done a little bit better. Damon Hill wins the Grand Prix. Schumacher finishes 2nd. Irvine finishes 3rd for Jordan. That is huge. We've got to try and get past Barrichello here. I don't think we're going to manage it though. As he flies round the final corner, we try and hold it together, but we can't. We come over the line in 10th place. It's just going to be the solitary point today. That's a shame. But wow, what a Grand Prix that was. Really tried hard there, but just couldn't quite get up to the back of Barrichello in the end. But Damon Hill wins the European Grand Prix, just a 2nd ahead of Michael Schumacher. It is going to be so tight at the top now. Eddie Irvine is in 3rd for Jordan. He could have won the race another couple of laps, and I think he would have done. Coulthard only 4th from pole position. That's a disappointment for the Scotsman. Johnny Herbert finishes 5th ahead of Gerhard Berger, up in 6th place for Ferrari. Mark Blundell a brilliant 7th ahead of his teammate Mika Hakkinen in the end. Rubens Barrichello finishes 9th and we finish in 10th place. So let's see what effect that has on the championship. David Coulthard remains at the top of the championship, 2 points ahead of Damon Hill in 2nd, who's just 2 points ahead of Michael Schumacher in 3rd. 4 points separating the top 3 then. Eddie Irvine closes in on us in 8th place. He's just 8 points behind now, and just a point between Johnny Herbert and John Alesi. Into the constructors then, and Williams continue to dominate that championship. They're well ahead of Benetton in 2nd, Ferrari in a very comfortable 3rd, Jordan taking a big advantage in the battle for 5th. 18 points ahead of us now. Maybe that is going to be too much to turn around. Okay, that's where we're going to leave it for today then. The championship battle is hotting up. 3 drivers are going at it, hammer and tongs. Who's going to come out on top in the 1995 season? I think we might have left ourselves too much to do in the constructors, but we will try our best. We've got the Pacific Grand Prix next time out in Ida, which I believe is in Japan, so I'm looking forward to that next time. Brand new track for me. Never ever driven that one before, so that's going to be probably carnage, let's be honest. But if you've enjoyed that, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.